What is up, my creative fellas? Welcome to this first episode of Just in Time. Oh, wait a minute. Is it just in time or just in time? We'll figure it out on the way. In this series, we're gonna take a look at the past and we're gonna learn our lessons the easy way. We're gonna go hunting together. I'll show you some of my old pictures that I have made long ago, and we're gonna be judging what I've done wrong, and we'll learn from my mistakes so that you, my friend, do not make the same mistakes over and over again, because I know many of you are just getting started with your journey and you need a little guidance as to where you should be headed to. Yes, I made all those pictures, and there's many more yet to come. So today I'm gonna show you the mistakes I made in creating this image. So I made a bunch of technical mistakes in this image, and we're gonna figure them out. Number one, and the most important one, is my highlights, which you can clearly see that my highlights suck. The next mistake I made was about the masking. I used to use the quick selection tool or the magic wand tool all the time. Pen tool was not so user friendly to me, so I barely used it. I never used it at all because it was hard and it was time consuming, so I would rather go with something quick rather than something precise. But these days, pen tool is my only friend. So if you're using any other selection method, quick selection or magic wand, you need to start using the pen tool, because there is no better tool in Photoshop for selecting stuff than the pen tool right now. Maybe in the future we'll get something cool, but right now it's all about the pen tool. If you're not using it, you're missing out on a big thing. Start using the pen tool, you'll thank me later. One of the most common mistakes I see beginners make is that they got no depth in their photos. If you want your image to look more professional and dimensional, you need to have some sort of depth. And now we have different types of depth of field. It could be done by blurring an object, or it could be done by using colors or even contrast. But anyways, you have to have some sort of depth of field, which I did not use so much in my images. And last but not least, the mistake I made was about the colors. I did not match the colors properly. You can see that my model is more towards the green side, while my background is more towards the yellow. Reddish side is the exact opposite, so please be careful when you're trying to match colors. Don't fuck it up like I did. The most common mistake beginners make is that they use curves to paint their highlights. Now, before you start roasting me, I'm not saying that curves are bad. I'm just saying that they're not a proper way to paint highlights. Now, you could be using curves to paint really amazing highlights, but that's not the way most professionals do. Now you might be asking, how should I paint my highlights then? Should I use curves, hue saturation, solid color, or color balance? Or all you need is just a normal, empty, transparent, beautiful layer. A normal layer set to a normal blend mode. A normal brush. Of course, it's soft. And some flow is all you need. Now you're ready to rock. Now let me show you how you too, my friend, can paint amazing highlights with some simple steps. Let's get started. Okay, now let's get started. In this image, I have a model in the background group, and I'm gonna paint highlights. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Now, this is the way many guys do. They create a curves adjustment layer. They make the whole image brighter just like that, and maybe they add some colors by tweaking these RGB channels, and they are happy that they've done this. They get the brush and bring the flow all the way up, and they start painting some shit like this. Which looks like kids' paintings. That's not the way to go. So the way we're gonna paint highlights is that we're gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna rename it to highlights so that you know exactly what it is for. Oh my god, it was so complicated. I'm going to clip it to my model. I'll get my soft round brush, as I said, and I'm going to bring down my flow to about 11, 12%, 15%. That all depends on the image. Choose whatever flow you feel will do for you. Now I'm going to zoom in. I have sampled the white color, and I'm going to start painting. It's just as simple as that. Guys, painting highlights is not about the tools, it's not about the adjustment layers or anything. It's about your drawing skills. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get at it. So watch how I do this. I'm creating a sort of a rim light, and I'm painting only on the edges, but in some certain areas I will go inside, which you will see in a minute,
and feel free to use the eraser tool as well. So let's paint highlights over here, and this is the part where you need to be smart. Look at that, this is a crease, so you need to paint highlights on this crease as well in order for your highlight to look realistic. And then you're gonna get your eraser, soft eraser with a low flow, about 20%, and you will start the end of this highlight you just draw and make it look like it's been drawn with a tablet. You see that? And yeah, I'm using a mouse, I told you. So whenever I see a crease folding inside the body, I will follow that and I will paint highlights inside the body, and this will make it look more natural. Here's another crease which I will follow in, and I will erase off the tip to make it pointy. It's easy as that, painting highlights, guys. That's all you need. You don't need any complicated stuff. This is the best method out there. 100% guaranteed, experimented and experienced by all the professionals. So what are the basic rules again? You need to paint highlights on the edges. Whenever you see a crease or something that folds inside the body, or wherever you think the light will go inside the edges, you need to paint highlights inside the body. Just study some lighting theory, watch some 3D objects, and you will get great at this. You will become a master of lighting and shadows. And rule number 3 is that you need to use the eraser tool to erase off the tip of the brush strokes that you draw, because you want to make them look natural and look like they have been drawn with a graphic tablet. If you're not using a graphic tablet, this is how you fake it. Actually, this is fake it till you make it. That's how we're doing it right now. I'm using a mouse as well. No worries. Now you can watch me as I go over the body and paint highlights in different areas. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so now that we're done painting the highlights, aka the rim lights, on the whole body, it's time to add the second layer of highlights, which is going to be using the blend if. I'm sure all of you know how to use blend if. If you don't know, this is how we do it. This is precisely how I do it myself, and it's quite easy. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to create a layer and clip it to my model and fill it up with the color that I have had chosen, which is white. And I'm going to double tap on the layer, open up blending options, and just bring this slider to the right and make the transition smooth, like so. And whenever I feel it looks good, I will hit OK. Then I will put an inverted mask on my layer, and I'll just get my brush and paint with my soft brush on the areas which I think need to be exposed towards the light a little more. In this case, in these areas on this body. Is she an astronaut? I don't know. It's just a simple composite I did. It took me only 30 seconds to make this. I'm proud of myself. And this is what the blend if layer does. You see that extra highlight over there?
And that wraps it up for today. I hope you learned something new, and I'd really appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Instagram and a subscription here. That would help me a lot in improving the channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, peace out.